Okay, so hopefully you can see me. Ms. Davis is not good with the editing and all that stuff that goes into good YouTube videos. Luckily, y'all see me in person every day making mistakes, and I can't go back and edit those out. So we're gonna get started on our RDWW. But first, someone wants to say hello that y'all haven't seen in a bit. You know who this is. He was over there eating an apple, and now he's trying to get out of my hand, but I'm gonna put him back in and close the lid, because we know what happens if we don't close the lid, and if Lucky gets lost in the house, then Lucky is just gone. So I'm gonna put him back in here, and this is where he is. Parents, I know you just forgot. You forgot to ask if you could bring him home during the break. I won't hold that against you. I know you forgot to ask. All right, so let's see. Get the top closed. Okay, so RDWW, kindergarten, you should know RDWW and what it stands for. My pre-K parents who might be watching with their children, this is geared more towards kindergarten, but please let your pre-K child watch this if they want to. It won't hurt anything. And remember, if anyone makes a mistake, it's okay. That's why we're in kindergarten, and that's why we're in pre-K, is so we can learn. So let's get started. We know that the R stands for read, so that's what we're gonna do first. Joy is holding 6 marbles in her left hand and 9 marbles in her right hand. How many marbles does she have in all? So we have read it, but remember, we become math detectives during RDWW, and we have things we need to find and look for. The first thing we need to find and look for are the clues, and the numbers are the clues. So we're going to circle, which we usually highlight, but in this case, we're going to circle our clues. One is a 6, and one is a 9. And then we also have to figure out what the problem is that we have to solve, and we're going to underline that. And the problem that we have to solve is, how many marbles does she have in all? Okay, so we've covered the R, so we're going to check that off. We've read it. Okay, so the next letter is the D. What does the D stand for? If you said draw, you are correct. So first we have to label our picture, and since we're talking about hands, we're going to label left and right. So just let Ms. Davis focus on labeling and not knocking this down real quick. Okay, so in her left hand, and then she has her right hand. And since it says in all, what do you think that means we're gonna do? Are we putting things together, or are we separating things? If you said we're putting things together, then you're correct. So when we put things together, we are using the plus sign because we're going to eventually write an addition equation. Okay, so in her left hand, let's go back to our story. Let's go back to our story and see what it says. In her left hand, it says she had 6 marbles. So let's do our 6 marbles, remembering to only do 5 dots on each line. So make sure they're big enough for you to see and for me to see, or your parents to see. And parents, you can send a picture of their work to me, just so they can see that I am really looking at it. All right, so in the left hand, she had 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I'm gonna go to the next line and do my 6. Okay, and how many marbles does she have in her right hand? If you said 9, then you are correct. So let's go through and add 9 marbles in her right hand. I'm gonna use a different color marker so that we can keep up with the differences and make sure our story is correct, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going down to the next line. Can't have more than 5 on each line. 5, then 6, 7, 8, and 9. Making sure that our picture is nice and neat rows and nice and neat columns so we can see what we're doing. All right, so now we're going to count all of our dots to see if we can figure out the answer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now, we know the answer is 15 right now, but I want you to try to do it mentally as the days go by, kindergarten. And I also want you to stop counting all of these first, because we know for a fact that this is 6. I want you to practice more of counting on, okay? So we're just gonna, so the way counting on looks like is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Our story already tells us she has 6 marbles in her left hand. We don't have to count that to make sure, okay? That's why you have to be careful with your picture to make sure you're following directions and make sure it's nice and neat, and that you did the number of dots that the story says, or the number of marbles in this case, okay? So counting on again looks like we're starting at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So now we have drawn our picture, so we're gonna check that off, okay? And the next thing to do is to write our number equation. We've already figured out that this is an addition sentence. So we're gonna say something plus something equals something else, okay? So, let me move Lucky over. We're going to say, I'm just gonna switch markers real quick so you can see. So it's gonna be something plus something else equals something else. Now, it's not very hard at all, because we just have to look back in our story to figure out how we're gonna, where we're gonna plug these numbers in, okay? Our number clues, or the clues of our story, are always gonna go in these first 2 boxes. They are the add-ins, okay? So 6 plus the number we have is 9, okay? And we figured out the sum of the answer to an addition problem. The sum of the answer to this problem is, we said, was 15. Okay, so 6 plus 9 equals 15. So now we have read it, we've drawn a picture, and we labeled our picture what it says. We've written an addition equation, or a number equation that goes with our story. So the last W stands for writing an answer. You're gonna write the word sentence. We wrote the number sentence, now we have to write the word sentence. And parents, something that's very important in writing the word sentence, as they get older, they're gonna have to restate the question. So kids, you can help your parents figure out what this means. So it says, how many marbles does she have in all? I want you to try to think, before I say what it is, kindergarten, how you would answer this question in your RDWW journals. How would you answer if Miss Davis asked you, how many marbles does she have in all? You can pause it right here and think about it, okay? So if we're restating the question, students and parents, we're going to say, she has 15 marbles in all. And that's simple. It's simple. That's how we're restating the question. We're going to check off the last W, because we've written the word sentence. Kindergarten, this is usually where we stop, but since the unit that we're on now is focusing on place value, I want you to take it a step further, and I want you to take the number 15. I'm gonna do it in maybe red over here so it'll stand out. Take the number 15, and I want you to figure out how many 10s are in this number and how many 1s are in this number. And when you figure it out, you can have your parent text me or take a picture of when you figure it out and let me know that you got it, okay? Now, pre-K, you're up next. I'm not gonna change this a lot, I'm just gonna change the numbers. Pre-K, you're working on number bonds, and you've been doing such a great job. So let Miss Davis erase what's up here right now. And then we're going to work on your problem. Okay, for your problem, let's just say Joy has, so parents, pre-K right now is working on addition and subtraction within 10. So we're not gonna do any sum that will go over 10. Of course, you can do that at home with your child. As they progress, we might have a little challenge where it does go over 10. So, but starting off right now, I'm trying to stay within the unit. So if and when we do return, they would have been doing what they would have been doing if we were in school. So pre-K, let's see. Let's say Joy's holding 4 marbles in her left hand, okay? And let's say she's holding 5 marbles in her right hand, okay? Now we're going to draw a number bond. Remember what a number bond looks like. Has 3 circles and they're connected, okay? So let's just do a number bond like, let's do the 2 at the top, and then the 1 at the bottom. And remember we talked about which one is the total. The total is the number bond that has the other 2 number bonds feeding into it, okay? And the other 2 are parts. So we're going to, Ms. Davis is gonna fill in the total, but it's up to you to figure out the parts. I mean, I'm gonna fill in the parts and it's up to you to fill in the total. So parents, you can text me their answers or a video of them working it out themselves. I'm going to draw marbles because that's what it says she had in her hand. So we're gonna do the 4 marbles first. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're gonna do the 5 marbles in the other hand. That was the other part. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, pre-K, what I want you to do now is count how many marbles you have here and how many marbles you have here and figure out what this total number bond would look like, okay? Send me a picture or show your parents. I also want you to finish the number equation. I'm gonna write the first part, you're gonna finish it on a piece of paper or with your parents at home, okay? So we have, what number is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna say 4. Now we are adding, remember we're adding these together. She has some in her left hand, she has some in her right hand. We're putting them together to see how many she has total, okay? So 4 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's up to you to put what that equals, okay? I want you to send me a picture or a video or have your parents text me to tell me that you figured it out, that you did your number bond, okay? Because I know you're smart enough and I know you can do it. So this is math for today. Like I said, parents, we will continue going through the unit as though they were in school.